You're listening to the English Football Podcast.
They've been waiting 36 years to get their hands on that. He's been waiting maybe all his life. They've talked so much about him and Maradona, and now he has one too. It was written in the stars. Quite possibly the greatest of all time. Messi inspires Argentina to a third World Cup triumph. Their first for a generation. And one that will be remembered as belonging to him. 29 days of competition. Seismic shocks. Confounding comebacks, thriller-minute climaxes, and Messi with the crown. It will be a World Cup where the off-field debate and discussion shone a light. And we're on the field. One light shone brighter than them all. Argentina are the world champions of 2022.
On Sunday evening, we witnessed maybe the best World Cup final we have ever seen. We saw penalty drama like in '94. We saw a dramatic comeback by the French after having no shots or touches in the opposition box in the first half, and 30 minutes of extra time to remember. This is the English Football Podcast Daily Match Review World Cup Final Special. Hello listener, my name's Callum Hewitt. I'm joined with the twins Theo and Luca. Okay, I'll get that. Hello lads.
Hello, you good?
Good, thanks. So, what a game that was. The World Cup final that will be remembered in hundreds of years.
Especially, it's not just the game, it's just also the fact that it was Messi who eventually brought it home and has won almost everything you can win as a footballer.
It's a dream ending, isn't it? It's like fate.
Everyone before the World Cup had started, everyone was going on everyone was just going on, saying how Messi, Ronaldo, all this, because it's probably going to be his last year. He might get another 4 years in, but I'm not sure if he will internationally. So everyone was saying it might be his last year. That we all wanted him to win at the start. It's just been a dream to come all this way, and what everyone said to come true, and he does actually bring it home.
And as well as just fighting for the World Cup, it was the golden boot between Mbappe and Messi, and Mbappe edged it by one goal in the end, but yeah, it was a close one.
We'll talk a bit about the game. Yeah. Di Maria played on the left-hand side. He was basically told to just run at Koundé, and it worked in the first half when Dembele, who's obviously not a defender, tripped him up in the box.
Do you think it was a clear pen or?
Yeah, I think it was. He clipped his left foot, which
I think
made him
as soon as Di Maria took that touch to get round Koundé, it was obvious it was going to be a pen, because we all knew once he got round, he's not going to shoot, he's not going to cross, he's going to dribble in and try win them a pen. But it was Di Maria's first start of the tournament. It was brilliant. I think subbing him off was what Argentina did wrong. He was their whole game before they subbed him off, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, I reckon if they'd kept him on, it probably wouldn't have gone on to pens, because in that first half he was probably their player of the match. And then also McAllister, that a Brighton player in the fight and winning it, he played brilliant. And that assist for Di Maria as well, that was a great goal. So I think he played well.
I mean, if France had carried on the way they did in the first half, with no shots, no touches in the opposition box, and a zero.
It would have been horrible.
Yeah, they did. They carried on like that until about 80 minutes, where they just grabbed two in the last 2 minutes.
They had 0.00 expected goals, and they looked sluggish altogether. Yeah, so if they carried on like that for the whole game, we would be sat here talking about how bad France were.
Their play was just awful. They couldn't seem to pass the ball around between them, and going into that final, everyone obviously wanted Messi to win, but even if you did think Messi was going to win. There was still that edge thought of you. Like this happened with me, that France were going to win because it's France and they're amazing. In the first almost 80 minutes of the game, they were horrible. You watched their football and it was poor.
France just, because they played shocking, then 80 minutes in they'd gone and scored 2, gone 3-2 down again. In extra time, 2 goals. That was just crazy. And then they go and score to make it 3-3, and Argentina deserved to win because they were the better team, but France, they did well to scrape a few goals out. Cause
if you score a goal in extra time, most likely it's over. And that's why everyone thought, well, 2-0 everyone thought it was over, and then 2-2. But then when Argentina finally scored that last goal, there was, well, not cleared off the line, but nearly, in the extra time, everyone thought it was over because it's not likely for you to score a goal and then the other team come and equalise it in extra time. And then when France scored the goal, it was just, they looked poor, but then every time they needed to get a comeback, they could do it in the last couple of minutes to do it and actually deliver finally.
I mean, Argentina, except for maybe the semi-final against Croatia where they easily won that 3-0. They, quite a few games, Argentina. The first one against Saudi Arabia where they lost.
Netherlands,
and then
they did the same with Netherlands, 2-0 up, last minute 2-2.
Even the Australia game, cruising 2-0, and then they nearly bottled it with that goal from Australia, and it did end 2-1 thankfully for them. And the Netherlands game, I think it was Australia, in the round of 16. Let's talk about Mbappe, who scored a hat-trick in 120 minutes and the penalty goal.
A hat-trick in a World Cup final and not winning it is disappointing. I feel for him there.
Theo, do you think he sparked the French sort of comeback after the goal?
Well, I think he was by far their best player because none other attackers were. Well, the 2 subs, I've forgotten their names now, but who came on first off were Giroud and Dembele. They were really good, but Mbappe, he helped them get at least a draw up until pen shootout because the goals from him, I know 2 were penalties, but I think he played really well, and you could tell he just wanted it so bad. And I think it was unlucky for him because it wasn't really his fault, I guess, but he did really well to get 3 goals and then score another pen in the shootout. So
let's go to the shootout. It was Emi Martinez is just a cheat code when it comes to penalties.
Well, you could see he had a distraction because he got the ball, chucked it away. Who was it? What's his name? Whatever. He thrown the ball away for him, so he had to go off and get it. Next thing, he just misses the pen. So, but he did his saves. He's a proper good goalie.
For me, Martinez is the best goalkeeper at saving penalties in the world. I'm not sure if it's just right now, but he definitely is. And wait, can I just go back to the game? Mbappe was clearly the best player, but I don't know who it was they brought on, but they did it in the semi-finals. They brought on for Giroud and Griezmann, was it? They brought on those 2 players. Do you remember? One was, I don't know, one was, and then one was like Thuram or something. Thuram, and he got a yellow for me. But I mean, hey, shush. They did it in the semi-final. No one knows who they are. Well, knew who they were before. They're amazing. From the manager to bring them on for players like Giroud and Griezmann, that's very brave to put them on. But to know
40th minute.
To know what they can do was that was very smart.
I think just one of the big things about the penalty shootout as well was Argentina won the toss in their end, and you could see, I think, on the French players' faces, with the noise from the Argentinian fans that was just, it put so much pressure on the French players.
Even if it was at the other end of the stadium, it would probably still go Argentina's way because they're fans. And this isn't in the stadium, but in Argentina, the streets were filled up. Argentina's fans, I think it's just Messi's a god. Messi.
It's such a big moment.
Did you see when the camera was pointing on the Argentina crowd? People were praying to Messi. He's such a god, and I think everyone in Argentina, who cares if you don't like football, everyone was there screaming, making noise for Messi.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to talk about the save from Emi Martinez. Just
that is the best save in history.
I was on my knees with my hands on my head.
I know, I was crying. I was crying. Literally. Then, after that save, Argentina was straight on the attack, and I know it was a poor header in the end, but that save, honestly, I think it was a mistake, and then a one-on-one, fully legs stretched out. I think he splits or something, but honestly, that best save of the season.
That could have ruined Argentina, the fans. That would have, honestly, that is one of the best save in history. That was, and then Argentina obviously went straight in the attack with such a bad header from that Martinez, but what a save, honestly.
I mean, the Villa keeper has played for Oxford, Reading, Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday. They were all on loan from Arsenal. So he deserves it. He's done it the hard way, and he's now won a World Cup.
When he was at Arsenal, we let him go so many times. I think eventually when we played him, that's when everyone, even the fans, realised we need to keep him. Then he went to Villa. I didn't think it was right then, but now it was such a good move because now he's getting played, and that's when he got spotted by Argentina. And now, he fully deserves it because Arsenal didn't treat him how he should have been.
He's a fan favourite as well. The little shoulder jig after the penalty save.
He did that in the semis as well, didn't he? Semis or no, it was against Netherlands in the quarters. 16. No quarters. But yeah, he's so good at distracting as well. He's got everything.
I think it's really good for him and like McAllister from clubs like Brighton and Aston Villa, like just them sort of clubs, and then going all this way and winning it. I think it's brilliant. It's like they deserved it though. Argentina were the better team as well. So
I mean, it's had the penalty drama of '94 and the comeback of '86 or '54. It was a superb game, wasn't it? You know, it was even for someone who isn't too into football and doesn't watch too much of it. You'd still get.
Even if you don't care, you must know about that. Not know, but just appreciate that or something. Even because when we were watching the England game, my sister walked out the room and didn't watch the game. That's the England game, not even the final, but still. Even if you're not into football, at least have some respect to watch it or know the score. I think World Cup, even if you're not a football fan, you have to know about that.
I think as well, Messi has dealt with the pressure so well. You know, the whole pressure of him, his last World Cup, especially his last kick of the ball on that penalty, he just rolls it in.
Had some confidence, honestly.
I don't think he is the only player in the world that can do that. Not even Ronaldo, because this could be to decide whether your country wins the World Cup or not and gets what he finally needs. And he literally just soft as anything, just rolls it in the net. But it was very cool.
If you watched it was before the game, all the build up and of all the finals he's been in, and everybody's saying he's let his country down, and that he missed a pen in, I think it was the Copa America final one year.
It was almost as if he was waiting for the moment on his last.
He missed the pen, that last pen in the Copa America final. To go from that to then score almost every pen he's had after that is just genius.
I'm pretty sure it'd be Di Maria's last game for them as well. So what a way to end it, and that's what it's been leading up to anyway.
Mbappe is 4 goals behind Miroslav Klose, who is the leading World Cup goal scorer, and Mbappe's 23 years old. He's got so many World Cups in him.
He's got about 3 or 4 World Cups left in him, and he's only 4 goals behind. I don't know what's going to happen, but if Mbappe and Haaland will turn into the future Messi and Ronaldo, Mbappe will clatter that record with ease. If he's 1 behind Messi and he's 23 years old, with ease he will fly through Klose and just
Stork, I think it was the second goal. The first one was a penalty for Mbappe. The second one was a superb volley. Most players would put it 30 yards over the bar, but he's just
take a touch.
Cool as you like, just little lean
For him
back.
to be that young and just have that mind, which very rare other players would actually just shoot first time on their volley or half volley, whatever it was. It's genius because
he wasn't happy though. At the end, getting his golden boot, he didn't even care. He wasn't happy. But and who was it who got the young player at Argentina? Yeah, that was like all them players. They deserved it. And
I mean, he scored the winning penalty,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a lot of pressure, but he just
did he
kept
give
cool.
away
and
the pen though as well? Did he?
Yeah.
I think he
Well, with
did.
the
no, that was Otamendi, I think.
Was
Oh
it?
no, because there was
No,
two
yeah,
penalties.
yeah.
So one of them was Otamendi, one was
Mbappe scored 3 penalties that game.
I think Messi going first on the pens as well.
That was-
With his
like,
confidence just to do it,
Well,
he just set the tone
it's
for his
because-
team.
Neymar,
Yeah.
when Brazil got knocked out by Croatia on pens, Neymar was up to take the fifth, and he didn't get to take it because they were out. And if Mbappe or Messi were to take that fifth, they wouldn't have taken it. So taking first, it's just a strong start as well, and it
And
gets you
because most of the other penalty shootouts in the World Cup, if you miss, because most others have been lost by missing the first 2 pens, so I think you need a safe penalty first to reassure your team. If you've missed the first one, every team that's missed the first one in the penalty in the World Cup this year has been out. So I think you just need that reassurance of your first penalty.
I mean, even for a neutral, maybe I was probably quite a bit on the Argentina side. But
I didn't
for-
want France to win, especially after the England game. So
even as a neutral, you'd still get so many emotions that game. It was so good to watch. Maybe not the first half, because it was, unless you're an Argentinian fan, it would be, Yeah.
But I think, forget the World Cup, that was one of the best football games, not just in World Cup but in history. That was one of the best. For someone to watch that game, and so many people showed
and
that
to
'cause
get
it's the
that
final.
comeback as well, that was
For someone
crazy.
to watch that game, that would make football such a better sport. Honestly, it was,
I think covered most things there. Let's talk about, because there was also on Saturday the bronze final, I think, where Croatia played Morocco.
I want Morocco to win.
And,
I want them to at least get a medal.
yeah. Although fourth, and Morocco weren't in the
weren't even in 2018
yeah.
Russia.
so it's I think they've had a brilliant World Cup. Morocco got to a semi-final,
They'd be happy with
came
that.
fourth. I know, they'd even just getting, even maybe losing to Spain, getting through to the round of 16. I think that's an achievement for them,
Yeah. I think
and beating the likes of Portugal, Spain, Belgium.
Yeah.
If you see
It's been such a good World
if
Cup
you
for
see their fans, just their first game, I think it was Belgium, their first game.
Yeah.
I think just winning one game in the group match, they were so excited, the fans. But then going all the way to the semis, even coming fourth, but that's like an achievement for them. And next year, if they're even in it next year, if they're not, this year would have just, what an achievement for them.
I mean, in 4 years' time, we will see the World Cup being hosted in America / Canada.
Yeah.
They'll be like sort of joint hosting that one. It's just on the World Cup itself, because Qatar, we know the like sort of political stuff about it and all that.
And same with Russia.
Hopefully it evokes change, hosting the World
Hopefully
Cup.
there's a good place to go the World Cup with no argument, because there's a lot of, last World Cup and this World Cup there was a lot of arguments about it shouldn't be there and how it was unfair. Hopefully we can just have a good day.
I mean, it may have been better to have that brilliant World Cup final in maybe or like another country, a bit more,
A bit more.
because Qatar just,
That's.
they paid for it. It's
And we know.
we don't talk about it too
You
much
see what
on
they
it.
put on Messi at the end? This isn't being rude here, it's just it's
the-
Messi. Let Messi just wear his Argentina shirt and lift the trophy. Don't force him to put on this Qatarian robe or whatever. Just let him lift the trophy as he wants.
Well, I think that's all for the World Cup.
Final.
I know.
It
was superb.
It got
What a
me
World Cup it
screaming.
was.
I'm obviously an English fan, but it got me screaming at the TV.
Yeah, I think one of the best World Cups in history. Amazing.
Yeah. There's been so many surprises, hasn't there?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Not just in the final.
Like
the whole
Brazil.
World Cup.
Even
There's been so many-
Brazil going out or whatever, like
Brazil,
Uruguay, Belgium, Germany, Spain, everyone. There's been so many shocks.
Right then, thank you for listening. You've been listening to the English Football Podcast. I'm Callum.
I'm Luca. I'm Theo.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.